Let's turn Standard Hearthstone into Battlegrounds! Now, for today's deck, we are going to be covering a fan-suggested deck, the fan being Guitaraffa. He came to me on my Twitch channel saying, hey, look at this deck and see what you think of it, while also presenting me with this screenshot right here of him getting over 100 stats on a single turn, thanks to the combo in this list. It is worth mentioning, I did make some initial changes to the deck that he did give me. However, the initial idea is his idea, so I'm giving credit. Basically, the idea here is we're going to be using Sewer Swimmer in combination with Ending Dragonkin to get 3 copies of Swimmer. Those will all cost 0. Then you'll have a Egg of Kalos hopefully on the board, or just basically any minion, and you'll slam down Chrono Lord Dios in combination with a Amphibian Spirit, which then you'll target the Dios or a non-egg minion with to then basically spread the Deathrattle a bunch of times, because you're going to get quadruple of each trigger per version of Swimmer you have on the board. Before I forget, in the King of the Underbelly, we have Dodo, Terror, and Tortola as the 3 targets. Most of the time, Tortola will be the choice, but Terror does come out. Same thing with Dodo. Now, for the lane guide, the first thing you're going to be looking out for is going to be Exotic Hellmaster. This will draw you either into your Swimmer or King of the Underbelly. Then you're going to be looking for any of your 1-cost cards. These act as removal tools, draw power cards, and so on and so forth. And finally, Arcane Tripwire or Sylvanas or any of her sisters are pretty good to keep also. Now, with all being said, let's look at... Okay, Warrior. A slower matchup, which should be pretty good for this deck. There is... Okay, I know this is a fan-suggested deck too, but I do have a mutual on Twitter that also suggested a really cool deck that I think might end up being the next video on the channel. I promise you the third deck of this week will probably not be. I do have footage for another very spicy Hunter list. I tried a lot of different variations of this one, and this feels the best, but I thought of an idea when I was playtesting this one about another thing you could do with the Underbelly, and I'm actually kind of excited to showcase it. I think Hunter is going to be, or at least King of the Underbelly is going to be a card that I'm going to revisit quite a bit, because there's a lot of different angles you can take the card. Another angle that I want to take, which is the other deck that I'm thinking about doing, is Tripwire with Ursel, which will then basically allow you to get more Tripwires in your deck every turn, while also doing 5 damage, and then you can double them with Ratcatcher and so on and so forth. I think that's a really neat idea, so maybe we'll be doing that next. Well, maybe not next, but like soon. I also might just do my own Zermatt list before we do Leo Full's Warrior Zermatt list. I don't know. It really just depends. We're just trying to meme around now. I did two videos of halfway decent decks. Well, one so good that the card got banned, and one halfway decent deck that I'm just gonna meme around for a bit until we get a bounce patch. There's like some rogue list that I want to kind of try out, but I don't think anyone wants me to cover rogue when rogue is doing really well right now. I really want to do like a Morchi OTK list with Slice and Dice, or just like a coin rogue list without Vanessa. I really just want to do something a little bit off meta, and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. What horror will hatch? Okay, so it being Dragon Warrior is a little bit not the slow matchup that I was hoping about. I will say, out of all the versions I've tried of this list, this felt the best just because it has a lot of draw power, and it has... Also, Confront is a really funny card with Ursel, by the way. You can get a lot of advantage that way, too. Okay. And I want to grab the shovel.
Can't miss.
We'll take the damage. The one problem I've been running with this deck is, and the reason why I ended up going back to this version, is we need survivability, and Critter Caretaker, I think is the name of the one drop that heals for 3. I think that helps out this deck a lot more than not running the Confront package in this list, and she just feels awful without the Confront package. So if you're watching this Guitaraffa, this is why we ended up settling on this version. And there is no carvers in this version, though. I did end up cutting them for the Sylvanas siblings, or one of their siblings, we should say. We're just trying to keep ourselves alive here. And I know we might get to the point where I think also when I'm testing these meme lists, a good chunk of my win rate is always going to go down just because I'm trying to get the replays. Like, I prioritize replays over win rate. Oh, Warp Tooth. Okay. Yeah, let me know down below, like, what classes you'd like featured on the channel. I'm trying to avoid Rogue right now just because of the fact that Rogue is one of the more meta decks. We already did a Shaman. I saw a really, really spicy Z Shaman list. I think it was Z. Maybe it was Mugshot. No, it was Z. It was with the quest. Turns out the quest actually works with it because you have... the start of game effect doesn't check your hand. It only checks your deck. And because your quest always starts in your hand, you get the Z hero power even though you're running one spell. Which, honestly, it makes sense why it works like that. But whoever came up with that idea, that's awesome. I thought about doing something like that, and then I was like, no, that's not going to work. And I guess I would have been wrong. Still a cool idea. But we already did a Z Shaman list, so I didn't want to do another one. I know, like, we might be doubling up on Hunter this week, but, like, I try my best to not double up on a class if humanly possible. Also, another card that could probably just not be in the deck is going to be King of the Underbelly, but, like... The reason why I'm like, you could probably cut it is because I always forget to play or, like, use him. I'm really, really, really bad, and I've lost so many games because of it.
Can't miss. Time's almost up.
Let's see if we can actually do enough damage. Gotta be quick about this. There should be 2 hyenas. Actually, no, there's only 1 hyena, but it doesn't matter. We can just waste one of these. Oh, there were 2 hyenas. Never mind. I lost track of what one cost that we've used. I'm amazed that we were able to do that. Also, okay, here maybe is a interesting little point. The reason why I really, really wanted to do the 10 rule breaker deck in the Tavern Brawl is because I was pretty sure by the time all the start of game effects went off, you would probably end up skipping your opponent's first turn because you always go second. So I think the animations, because you almost skip a turn with just 2 start of game effects that shuffle cards into the deck. At least that's something I've noticed. The animations for the start of game effects are a lot longer than they should be, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Hogger. Is that bad for us? Oh, maybe not.
I'll shelter you.
So we'll put it on the egg. You do not really want the spirit buff on egg, because if you use it on the egg, you end up just flooding your board with a bunch of eggs. But you make do with what you gotta make do with, you know? So if you are playing this deck, do not... Hopefully... Oh, I guess also, like, if you are playing the deck, you can target the egg. You just need to know that you might not have space for your other... You might have to do this over multiple turns instead of just one turn. Then you gotta hope they don't have a silence or they don't give up. Which has been my problem. Like, I know I could probably win the game pretty quickly here, but I really want to go for the meme replay, so I'm going to be playing this a little bit dumb. I apologize to everyone who's like, you could have got lethal this turn. I know. I know. We're so far ahead, we can survive 2 turns. Don't worry about it. 3 turns. We need to wait 3 turns. Sorry, that's my bad.
I'm out of cards.
Okay. Again, we're so far ahead, I do not mind playing this very dumb. Come on, give me something funny here. I mean, we can take Arcane Shot or Odd Map. Come on, play down some minions, so this doesn't look as bad. Okay, that's some minions that I gotta deal with. Not really deal with, but like... Okay. They have to do 20 damage. With 3 cards in hand, knock on wood, I don't think they can win. Okay, we're 2 damage off. I know we could hero power and win here. Oh, 4 damage off. Yes, actually. Okay, let's just slam this down. And the next turn we slam down Dios plus Swimmer, Swimmer, Swimmer. Though we do not have enough space on the board for this. Come on, find a way to... Yes. Yes! Play a minion that can easily destroy some of my minions. Yes! Keep on doing this. Okay. Hopefully this works how I want it to work. Oh, and also, we'll use Spirit on. Come on, hit into... Yes! Okay. Eos, we're swimming along here. Swimming. Okay, come on, be enough damage. Don't make my memes not a reality. Be... Come on. I mean, that's still a lot of stats. Okay, Druid. Chef Druid is not my favorite thing in the world. There's other Druid decks you could probably try. I know I tried Togwaggle briefly, but it didn't work how I wanted it, so I gave up, you know? If you have a fun idea for Togwaggle, leave it down below, because there are always at least one legendary per set that becomes like the white whale of the set of like, I need to do something with this before the next set comes out. And I don't always get to them. I think Cataclysm is the very first set in a long time that I managed to get to every legendary I wanted to cover on the channel. I actually might have covered every legendary from the set. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know down below, I guess, if I missed something in my videos. Hey, should go rewatch them, you know? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got everything. Last thing I thought I had left was Isorath. There might be another legendary that I'm just completely forgetting what it's named, but
There, all better.
we even did some of the new additions to the core set. But that's also because, like, it's the first set of the year, so it's harder to come up with cool and creative ideas. I really do like the ideas of this set. It's just
Give me your paw.
getting half of them to actually work right now is a little bit of a big ask. And honestly speaking, I was thinking about like what you would hit in this set that's meta relevant. Vanessa is the main thing I would probably hit, and Troublemaker is another thing. But I think the reason why more people are upset about Troublemaker right now, this includes myself, right? If I didn't have to deal with it for an entire week and trying to get content for the Tavern Brawl, then I don't think I would be as annoyed with Troublemaker. Same thing goes with Mug Z. Mug Z was like the other very popular deck in the Tavern Brawl. And between those two being like the most popular decks now, I think a lot of people are just like, I was already sick of it last week and I'm really sick of it this week. Okay, Horn into getting rid of both of the minions. I think actually a buff patch might be better, truth be told. Well, buff with, like, again, Vanessa would be what I would hit. Okay, what do I want to do here? I just want to cycle through the deck a bit. This isn't going to be enough damage, right? We're going to be a little... Oh, we can't target it. I didn't think that one through. Oh, if only we had one more mana for this. Oh, we do. Okay, perfect. Got rid of the minion without it sticking around on the board. I really want to do something with Tripwire. I think that's, like, not the next video, but we will do something with Tripwire. A unique way to do Tripwire, I should say. If y'all ever wonder how I record videos, I usually test 3 or 4 ideas at the same time, and then whichever one I like the best or I think other people will cover quicker will probably go up first. I also kind of promised Guitaraffa that I would going to do his list next. I didn't really promise him, but I'd like... Someone presents me with a deck, and it looks interesting to me. I try to rush it out if I can, you know. So, yeah, I mean, if there's a deck that you'd like to feature on the channel, again, let me know down below. Always up for suggestions.
Cooking up something special.
Yeah. The good news is we have the giant turtle. The bad news is I don't know what... Well, we do have another play. But I think this turn we're going to go with the big turtle. The other play there would have been the 2 Windrunner sisters back to back.
For it.
Okay. You know, out of all the cards that those could have been, those are probably two of the better things it could have been.
Sisters,
Okay, let's see what we can grab. Anything fun? Ooh, front's not bad. This gets rid of everything that isn't named. Okay, it doesn't actually get rid of as much as I was hoping it would get rid of.
Come closer, critters. Fall silent!
Just AoE's everything. I should have done that in the reverse order for the heal, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, we're not dead this turn. We do have the 2 confronts, which should be able to clear everything and actually heal us for quite a bit. And get them pretty low, probably. How low are we? We're like 1 off dead, aren't we? Okay, we're in a little bit of a better position than I was expecting. Okay. We don't really need both, but
Welcome to the world.
I just need some survivability. Yes, get rid of the Lord. Yes. It's the opposite order I wanted, but it's be fine, right? Hold. Hold. What are we drawing here? You know, that could have been worse. That could have been way worse. We're back up to what? 13? Not bad. Ooh. Hopefully they don't get anything good. There's quite a few ways they could probably steal with them from this position. Depending on like how lucky they get. But we do have the other confront, which should give us another way to easily deal with any big minion they slam down. Even if it, as long as it's just one, right? Okay. Let's trip and see if we can win from here. There's Swimmer. Get another trip line here. Another one?
I'll shelter you. I'll shelter you.
This is just game. Oh no, we're 2 off, but you know, like, oh, actually, I guess we could have done Amphibian. But I mean, this should be 2 damage, right? Come on, we just need to do 1 damage to face. There we go. What a fun way to end this game. For us, not for them. Now, did we successfully turn Standard Hearthstone into Battlegrounds? No, I never got to replicate the heights that Guitaraffa actually achieved, and the deck didn't feel that great. I tried out quite a few different variants of this list to make sure I could maybe get it, but this felt like the most consistent out of the bunch since it did have an early game that allowed you to last into the late game. It did give me some ideas for some other future hunter lists that might be covered on the channel in the nearby future, but this is not a deck that I would recommend y'all crafting unless you already have all the cards in it, or you just want to meme around with a deck and you don't mind wasting some dust. But before we end the video, special thanks to our channel members of Daniel Nascimento and Ruben. If you want to help out the channel a little bit more, you can join one of those 3 membership tiers. If you can't afford to do that, there's always a like, commenting, subscribing, turning on notifications, using a new hype button, checking out the Twitch channel. They all help me the same. Until next time, bye-bye.